All right, welcome to our DLD Lunch and Learn. Today, we are going to be highlighting some back to school resources that are available through your Division for Learning Disabilities membership and talk about some open access resources as well to get you set for back to school. This presentation is really geared toward our professionals who are in teacher preparation programs, administrators. We're also going to be talking about ways you could use this for your own professional development needs within your programs, within your school districts, and even within your institutes for higher education. So let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. My name is Sarah Watt. I'm an associate professor at Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. And this is my colleague.
Hi, I'm Amber Karkowitz-Kastrup. I'm a visiting assistant professor at Miami University in the educational psychology department.
Okay, just a couple housekeeping things to get us started. Captions are available for this presentation. Just click on your show captions icon and that will enable them on your screen. During our presentation, as questions come up, feel free to put those in the chat and we will try to address those at appropriate breaks throughout our presentation today. And the other thing I want to share with you is this is scheduled from 12 to 1, but we're really hopeful that we will let you out early. We know this is a really busy time of year. We just want to make sure we can highlight some key resources that might be helpful for you as you're getting started.
Alrighty, so here's our agenda for today. We're going to start with just going over what is DLD, our Divisions for Learning Disabilities, and then we're going to get into the value-added resources that we have just recently started developing and are going to be offering to you guys in terms of they're going to provide learning opportunities and they're going to be resource companions and teaching companions. And then we're going to be looking for feedback from you guys on what else you would like to see focused on in the upcoming months in regards to the value-added resources.
So just a little bit to familiarize yourself with our division. So the Division of Learning Disabilities, it was established in the early 1980s. It is one of the Council for Exceptional Children's 18 special interest groups. So when you are signing up for a CEC membership, you can add any of these interest groups to your membership. And the Division of Learning Disabilities focus is really on advocating and improving educational outcomes for students with LD, and more recently to include students with ADHD and also gifted learners, and so many more. We have a lot of our publications are also highlighting English learners and just the growing diversity that we're seeing in our classrooms. DLD was one of the first organizations to endorse evidence-based practices. A lot of the resources that we're going to highlight today are things that are highly research-based practices, evidence-based practices that you can use in your classrooms, used to support students with LD, ADHD, and gifted learners. And our division is supported primarily by volunteers. And we're going to talk a little bit later in our presentation about how you can get more plugged in to our organization as well. One of the main purposes of DLD is really to serve our community of educators, our community of students, families. We really have a passionate network of individuals and experts who want to support students with LD, ADHD, and our gifted learners. And this network is really one of the most beneficial pieces of your membership to DLD, is getting to interact with and learn from each other and all of the different experiences that we have globally. And coming together at different conferences and different events and through these types of webinars is just one of those great benefits of being a member of DLD. In addition, we have print and online publications that I'll highlight shortly for you. As I mentioned, we have our Council for Exceptional Children's National Conference, and at that conference, you will see strands specifically supported by and led by our Division of Learning Disabilities. There's also multiple partnerships with other conferences, both national and international, where DLD is present and works to collaborate and network as well. There are many grant and award opportunities through DLD, and those can be found on our website. I'll share some of those as well. Really the highlight of what we're going to share today is access to a lot of resources that you can use for supporting the academic and behavioral needs of students that you serve. This is a QR code to our website. If you want to kind of multitask and look at that, you can. We are going to more specifically highlight some of those things on the website and go there together soon.
So getting into our new resources. So we have two different categories that our resources are going to fall under. We're going to have our teaching companions. Those are going to be ideal for anyone looking for supports to their instruction, possibly teachers, administrators, or higher ed faculty. And these are going to be things like graphic organizers to support the learning of hot topics in education. And then we have our resource companions. Those are more geared towards anyone that's looking just to learn more from the current DLD resources that we already offer. And these are going to be more of guided notes and questions that are going to accompany those resources and get you thinking deeper about the topics. Would you like me to share those in the chat now, Sarah?
Yeah, I think that would be great for everyone to see those.
Perfect. So first I will share the resource companion. The first one is focused on brain-based learning. And then here's our teaching companion, which Sarah is going to go over shortly.
Yeah, and I think it's really just to add to what Amber has shared here. This is going to be one of those ongoing resource banks that will continue to build. It will be available through a Padlet that we'll store them on, and we'll provide those to our members. So this is just one of those value added pieces of being a member of our division. Anything you want to highlight in addition to that, or is that?
I think that's about it. Yeah. Once we get into one of the examples, maybe we'll have more to share questions regarding it.
Okay. All right, so let's explore some of these other tools. So looking at this screen, you can see this is one of the resource companions that we've created. And so this is a very general resource companion, a graphic organizer that would be utilized to explore some of the resources that DLD has available. I teach an intro course to new teachers, and this would be a great thing for me to use in the beginning of my class to have students explore the Division for Learning Disabilities, to really see resources available to our members, and what are some things that I could learn from these, and how could I use these to grow professionally. So you can see at the top, we have kind of our KWL chart, some things we want to know, some things we've learned, and how we're going to access some of that information. And then we have some of these different resource types. So these are some of the highlights I'm going to show you on our website here in just a moment. We have our practice alerts. We have some hot sheets. There's some different tutorials and videos available on our website that can help give you access to how to use and implement some of these evidence-based practices, as well as some common questions and answers that we might have from some of our teachers that have been asked of experts in our field. So I'm going to attempt to share my screen with you and show you our website here. And you can go along with that QR code that was on there as well.
I just dropped the link to the website in the chat as well.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for the delay here. That is not what you want to see. Amber, will you try on your screen to see if
Yeah.
I can pull that up? I'm not sure why mine's not going there. Thank you.
Yep. Alrighty. So where would we like to go?
Yeah, so if you go under resource type, so you can see right here, it's going to highlight all of those things that were on that graphic organizer. We're
Yep.
going to start by going into our practice alert. So our practice alerts, you can see there's a search bar here. You can search by some different things, math, reading, writing, behavior, assessment. If you want to click on our database individualization, that very first one there for us, Amber,
Mm-hmm.
and if you'll click on our PDF there, yes. So these practice alerts, these have been written by experts and are all research-based. You can, when you scroll down, you'll see there's lots of citations for additional information that you can seek out. These are really practical guides that tell you a little bit of the research behind why these practices are effective. It talks about the steps to implementation. So how should I implement this in my classroom or in my school? And also provides some really good strategies on the implications for different learners. So how might this work for the students with learning disabilities or students with ADHD? So there's lots of different practice alerts available on our site. These are great to use for professional development with teachers, with faculty, with students to really help them to understand some of these evidence-based practices. An important aspect of these and something that we continue to vet and look through within our division is whether or not these are things that we should use with caution, that we can go ahead and use, or that maybe are not best to use. And so you're going to notice that each of these will have kind of an alert for you on whether or not you should use without question or we should use with caution. And typically this is related to the level and the amount and the quality of research that these topics have. So again, with data-based individualization, we can see this is saying use caution. And there's lots of continued research coming out in this area, but again, it's limited. There's gaps and there's things that we need to continue to explore, but it doesn't mean that you can't use it, but that we should recognize those limitations when we're looking at research. And so this is just another great way to introduce to our teachers who are in preparation courses or through our PD or faculty that we do have to really take a critical eye on the research. And DLD is doing a great job of continually vetting these resources for us and updating those over time.
Mm-hmm.
Let me stop and just look at the chat here to see any questions that we have. It looks like most of those have been answered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. If you want to take us back then to the website.
Yeah, and maybe this is a good time for a little connection to the other resources that we offer, unless
Yeah,
that's
that would
going to
be
cut you
great.
off. Okay.
Nope, that would be great.
So the other resource that's linked in the chat is focused on brain-based learning, and that is connected to another current practice alert. Um, so if you choose to use this, either to develop your own activity or just for your own learning, you'll learn more about brain-based learning, but you'll have more practice looking at these current practice alerts in the different parts that are focused on within the current practice alerts. Like Sarah said, they talk about the step by step on how to implement it. But most importantly, they then go into what does the research look like currently, and maybe why there's hesitation or why there's concerns with the research that exists currently. So you can see this, correct, Sarah?
Yep.
Okay, so this should be the other link to the resource companion that you can see. And this one is very much a guided notes format. So it would probably be ideal to print and use, but you could fill in your answers electronically as well. But it goes through what it is, for whom it's intended, the different programs that it's featuring in the practice alert. And at the very end, we look at the research knowledge base and then more of a reflection and evaluation at the end. So a lot of our guided notes are going to take that format and give you some opportunities to kind of reflect after you have kind of reviewed the current practice alert or other resource that's featured from DLD. Is there
Thank
anything
you.
else that you want me to pull up?
No, that yeah, if you want to go back to the website and I'll quickly show them where to access some of those other resources. So again, if you go under resource type there, you can see all of those different tools that we highlighted. So we have the Q&As, there's some videos linked, our publications. So if you click on publications next, under here, you are going to find the New Times for DLD. So New Times for DLD is a newsletter that you'll receive electronically through email as members, but they're also housed here. Um, they each offer some feature articles that are based on recent publications or other research that's taking place in the field. And they're really applicable to lots of the hot topics that we're seeing. There's some policy articles. There's articles related to a lot of the curriculum shifts that we're seeing across math and reading. So these are great, and they're archived in here from previous years so that you can go back and you can look at some of the things that DLD has been doing throughout its time, but also to go back and look at some of these feature articles to see some of the work that's been done. There's also updates in these newsletters about awards and grants. You can find those also on social media, which I'll show you later, but they have more detail within these newsletters. And you can get updates from all of our executive boards. So find out what our committee has been up to, what are some of the things maybe that have been going on behind the scenes related to policy or changes in our board dynamics. So these are really beneficial. You can use these for the feature article pieces for students, but as members, it's just a great resource for you to stay connected with our community. The last thing that I want to show you on here is, if you go back to that resource type, and actually you don't even need to do that now that I see. If you scroll down, there is a search bar here. So this one, for example, is searching publications, but within each of our research types, you can search for the topics that you're looking for. It just makes it easier to kind of navigate our website and look through and see what those different tools are based on what you're looking for. All right. If you want to transition out of our website, that would be wonderful. I do encourage all of you to take some time to really explore what's there. Not on our website because it is a member-only benefit, but we also have our Learning Disability Research and Practice Journal that comes out, and that is just another one of the resources that's provided through DLD and through the membership. Okay, let me try to share my presentation again with all of you. My Zoom is acting a little funny over here. Actually, Amber, do you have the
Yep,
Zoom
I
pulled
can.
up? Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Sorry, I have so many different screens. Do you see
No,
the?
it's okay.
Can you see it?
Yes. So
Okay.
again, going back to our resource companion, this is just one of those resource companions. Amber shared you the guided notes for the brain-based learning. That's another one. These are just some different tools that you will see coming out through your email that you can use for a variety of different reasons that we've shared. There are other ways to get plugged into our DLD community that we want to highlight briefly today as well. So this is one of our lunch and learn opportunities, and we'll highlight our next one that's going to be featured shortly. And we have some sip and studies that happen in the evening. These are just a great way to bring our community together to really connect with our board and other experts in our field around some really important topics. Attending DLD, the strands at CEC that I mentioned earlier, that's another great way to stay plugged in. We also host several social events throughout our different conferences. There is a larger social event at our National Council for Exceptional Children a conference that's well attended. You can really connect with teachers, administrators, faculty, students. It's just a great event. And at that event is an opportunity for graduate students to present some of the research and the work that they're doing. And so that's just an exciting way to support them, or if you work with graduate students, to get them plugged in as well. Our board meetings at CEC are super exciting, and they are open to all of you, so you can always attend those. I know when I was new to CEC, I was hesitant to attend some of those meetings, thinking they really weren't for me, but those meetings are for all of our members. We love the feedback. We love participation in our events. And then there's multiple ways that you can volunteer for DLD. So you can join some of our committees. Amber and we work on the membership committee together, and we have lots of fun doing that. And we're always looking for new members to join us, but there are other committees as well that you can see listed here and other opportunities. At the end of our presentation, I will share with you a QR code so that you can express interest if you are thinking about volunteering, or you just want to learn more about those opportunities as well.
Alrighty, so we're going to turn it over to you now. So if you would like to share in the chat, or if you would like to unmute, you will have to let us know in the chat if you would like to unmute, because I don't believe that you have the ability to do so yourself. But we're looking from you to answer these questions of what resources do you currently utilize from DLD? That will be very helpful in guiding us on what kinds of supports that we should connect to the currently existing DLD resources. And then also what resources or topics are you most interested in, or what that would be most valuable to you moving forward?